Cool! What's going on, guys? So look, check this out. We have a mobile live rig, which I think is one of the coolest things. My brother's right behind the keyboard right now. I'm holding this keyboard because we're going to do a really cool little mid-cut. But thank you guys for joining me on this live Q&A. Those of you guys that are submitting your questions, I am reading them. I got them right here. So I will be answering them in this video. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to figure out the controls for the subscribe button here, but just go ahead and click right down below to get that subscription so you get the latest notifications. In this live Q&A, I want to answer your most pressing questions, which we're already going through. So you guys will be answered in this video, as well as letting you guys know about Friday's event. Friday's event is a giveaway, so I want to make sure that you guys are fully aware of what's going on, the rules, when we're gonna, the deadlines. There's a deadline coming up. So yes, it does have an expiration date, and that is tomorrow. So we're gonna go over everything and then answer you guys' questions. And watch, check it out, check it out. I'm gonna try to do that little mid cut right now. Boom, Control 0, right? All right, I think that means I should be back online right now. Like I said, we're testing this little mobile rib. And if you guys are interested in how this setup looks, I'll probably post a picture on Instagram. So I will link you guys know my Instagram. It's the same thing, John X Santos. Go ahead, check that out. And by Friday, we will have this thing fully legit. But right now, it's super MacGyver. So yes, what we're going to do in this video, what I wanted everybody to know is essentially that the giveaway deadline is tomorrow. All right, so all of you guys that entered, just to let you guys know, tomorrow is the final date that you guys can actually enter. So if you haven't had a chance to do that, go ahead, open up the little description box right below this video. It'll give you guys the official rules as well as deadlines and where we're going to announce the winner. The deadline to enter is tomorrow at 12 p.m., guys, so do not sleep on it. If you're watching this on the replay, maybe later today, go down there, enter it, because it's closed after tomorrow at 12 p.m. And the reason for that is because we're actually doing something special. We're not just gonna like randomly, we are gonna randomly pick a name from just like pretty much this like live generator thing. It'll randomly pick a name out of everybody who entered. So after I pick the 2 winners using that system, which I'll record so you guys know it's all legit, essentially right after that happens, in order to announce it on Friday, we're actually going to be driving down there. So I need to already have everything done and like the little special announcements already created by Friday. So when you guys see the live replay on Friday, you will know that it's 2 winners on there. And it's the reason because we have to pick them tomorrow afternoon before we leave to this road trip. All right, so yes, giveaway deadline tomorrow. And then here are some of the prizes. I want to make sure that you guys are fully aware of what you are entering for. So essentially, winners have 72 hours to respond. A very common question that was coming up is it open to international winners? And yes, this giveaway is open to international. So wherever you are in the world, it is open to you. The only thing is that you're going to have to pay for your import taxes as well as shipping. All right, but we'll cover the printing and the apparel. You're just going to need to pay for it to be imported into your country. All right, and if there's any issues with that, just let us know. We'll make sure to work with you so you guys have everything that you're going to need to start your brand. All right, and of course, this giveaway was made possible by Bella Canvas and Let's Print LA. Bella Canvas is a wholesale supplier of t-shirts. Let's Print LA is an amazing print shop located in Los Angeles with their goal to help entrepreneurs print their products as well as any marketing collateral that you may have. All right, and we're going to be making videos with Let's Print LA to show you guys more about the business of actually printing t-shirts. So for those of you guys that maybe wanted to do to actually start up a service business, Let's Print LA is going to join us on a future video on this channel. All right, and of course, the third prize is from the Ground Up Academy, and it's a special program that we put together to help entrepreneurs from an A to Z platform. That means, how do you actually structure the business? How do you actually work with people, contracts, freelancers, designers? How do you actually market the products, build out your website? How do you source for products, cut and sew? So much more, guys, in the system that's pretty much A to Z, where you guys can log in, you have access to it for life. You log into that, you have all the resources that you're going to need, and if you don't have something, we work together to make sure that you find it. And yes, it's all an A to Z platform. You have access to a private community as well as group membership calls. So that means that we get on a call at least once a month to answer any questions that you have on a private basis, and I get to know more about your business and be able to better assist you. All right, so that's enough of the prizes. Those are essentially the grand prize winners, which will be linked right down below. And now what I want to do is let you guys know that whoever is located in the LA area, if you guys are from LA or in the LA area and are available on Friday, it'd be pretty cool to actually link up with you guys. So we're actually going to be there for a few days next week, but Friday is going to be an amazing day for us to all get together. And it'll actually be at the Bella Canvas location. And if you're located in that area, and if you're free around 12 p.m., make sure that you guys go down below. Make sure you submit your name, your business name, and your brand, because it is going to be limited to 15 people that can join us. So it'd be amazing if you guys could come. It'd be great to meet you in person, learn more about your business. More importantly, get to network with everybody and really just have a really cool time. So like I said, we want to make an event out of this giveaway. We'll have a Q&A discussion panel going live on Friday. So for those of you guys that aren't able to make it there, we will still have a live event and you guys are going to join us online. Cool. So I think that's about it for the announcements. If I left anything out, just open up the description right down below this video and you guys will have everything right there. It's listed right there for you guys. And more importantly, if I don't get across to your questions, comment them down below, or I'll actually just, I'll actually save the ones that are on here as well, and we will answer them during Friday's Q&A. We're actually going to pick out a few questions for Friday. That way we have some pretty good ones. All right, so I think that's about everything that I wanted to cover before getting into the Q&A. So let's get started on it. Whew, that was a lot of talking too.
Pick one out for you?
Yeah. Oh, let's see. I like the one.
George White left a really good comment.
All right. What did he say?
He says, "How to deal with haters when you the only brand that is bringing positive vibes and creativity."
Oh man, that's a really good question. And look, I actually just recently did a Twitter post about this exact topic. Essentially, it really boils down to you're always going to have people talking about you. All right, whether you try something and you fail at it, you're going to have people criticize you, or whether you don't try anything. Wait, hold on. I'm messing up my own Twitter post. But essentially is, if you try something and fail, people are going to criticize you. And if you try something and succeed, people are still going to talk about you, right? The only way that nobody will talk about you is if you do nothing, right? So that's a quote that I had up on Twitter, and it's gone pretty cool. It's got a lot of retweets, so definitely check that one out. But essentially, I think that's how it could really, that really connects with this question, is that the fact that you're always going to have people talking about you. Just because whenever you try to advance, you always have people trying to pull you down. So you can't let the haters prevent you, and but you always got to be a little cognizant about what they have to say too. You never know. There could be little things in there that could work for you and actually improve on what you're doing. But definitely don't take it to heart, because the people that are usually talking, that are talking mess online are probably sitting at home doing nothing, and nobody's criticizing them. So just let it brush it off your shoulder, but more importantly, see if there's any truth in anything that they're doing and maybe how you could apply it to your own brand and maybe make it even better than it was before. All right, so I want to pull a question from, is there a way to test your t-shirt concepts to know if they are marketable and will sell? This is by Tamisha. Tamisha, yes, there is a way to test this. All right, so when you're designing your products, there's a lot of different tools online that will allow you to actually just put it on a mock-up of a t-shirt, right? So you select the colors, you select the designs, you put it on those t-shirt graphics. And essentially what you want to do is you want to kind of lay out a pretty good line sheet that shows those designs, and then you want to go directly to your market. So whoever that market is, if it's kids in high school, or if it's skaters in high school, or maybe it's perhaps sneaker lovers or fashionistas, wherever they hang out, literally just go in person and show them the line sheet, show a couple people, random people, and just be like, hey, which one do you like the most and why? And then if you can take it up to the next level, is actually print out a few shirts wear them, send some photos to people to see what they think in terms of, hey, I want to buy it, you know. So if they say, get me two, you know, if they start dishing out money for that, that means that people are going to want it. So that's a really good way to test it on a small scale before you start, you know, buying 100 or 200 shirts of something you're not sure is going to sell. Always creating that digital mock-up, going and actually surveying it to your exact market. So don't just believe anybody else says, because if your market is sneakerheads that are in high school, it's going to be way different if you ask, you know, a 40-year-old that's you know, that's a dad, you know, and that maybe wears more of those dad shoes, right? He's probably not going to really relate to that market, so his opinion doesn't matter as much as somebody that is in the market, right? So always be aware of who you're asking questions and be able to survey it out by creating those line sheets. Okay, so
Christine actually left out a good question.
Okay.
She says, how do you organize production for your clothing brand?
So production on actual clothing, so especially if you're dealing with cut and sew guys, when you're doing bags or you're doing anything that requires movements of materials, that's a little bit more difficult than it is to just say, hey, we're going to order up these blanks, we're going to communicate and print, right? So essentially it all kind of boils down to having a really good system for you guys, and a really great one. So before, I was a firm believer of like email and Google Drive, and I have now started shifting to Slack and Google Drive. So if you guys haven't heard of Slack, Slack's a great tool that will allow you to collaborate with multiple people. So if you guys have like a team that's located like around different cities and stuff, you create a workspace, and then you literally create your tiers of what you guys are going to be, of what you're actually going to be discussing. So whether it's a marketing tier, a production tier, a design tier, and then you invite the people that are a part of each of those phases, and then you guys coordinate your work in each of those tiers. So that's a great way to stay in constant communication and know exactly what's going on. But of course, a lot of print shops, chances are they're just going to want you to email them or call them. So if that's the case, just keep a record of what's going on internally on Slack, and then reach out to the production companies to make sure that they're printing on time and that's going to be delivered. Now, if you're going to do something with cut and sew, it's a lot more intricate than that. You're going to have a lot of movements of fabrics, of trims, of printing, of embroidery, and that's going to require a little bit more of a robust system and a robust team that's actually going to handle your fabrics. There's too much to do when it comes to cut and sew, guys, and if you try to take it all on yourself, it's going to be a little difficult. This is where agents and other sources come as a great tool to help you create those products, so you can focus on designing of them and also of the marketing of them. So yes, I am going to cover this in a future video, so just be on the lookout for that, because it's already in the works. We're going to launch something this month on cut and sew and what you can do to navigate that, if that's one of your questions. Cool. So let's see. Amanda asks, what's the best way to manage a growing team? As a creative, it's hard to release control and allow others to help. Any tips with outsourcing and delegating? So Amanda's actually my wife, so I asked her if she could actually tune in. So babe, thank you for actually joining this live Q&A and leaving a question, which I think is a really good question. When it comes to, you know, if you're a creator, and if you're, you know, creativity is really your main passion and your like strong suit, you're definitely in a great position to start up a brand or start up a product line that's fashion forward and that's, you know, that has a very unique taste to whatever your market is. But something that I always see with creatives is that they always want to take control of everything in regards to the process of the entire process. And that could be from an apparel product, or it could be from running a production company, or like, you know, creating videos or marketing collateral, whatever it may be. I think ultimately you need to have the vision of what you want it to be, and then you need to lay a good foundation for others to follow it. So what that means is, if you create assets because you know how creatively how it's supposed to look, and if you focus on actually creating that look and then allowing others to implement for you, that'll be a lot better than you trying to create it and implement it as well, because you're not really sure if somebody can do it. And look, I think the biggest lesson is going to be that you're going to need to be okay with things not being perfect when you're working with a team. All right, because everybody has a different strong suit or perhaps a different angle that they may want to take when it comes to you setting a direction. So just because you originally thought of idea A and then idea B comes, If it's not too far away, and if it's still something that you're pretty much like, you know what, like I would spend another 20, 30 hours trying to fix it, but it's good enough to move forward. I think that's the mentality that you got to start thinking when you're working with a team, is that, is it good enough to move forward? And then when you're starting the next project, you know a little bit more about how they're going to take the information that you give them, and you're going to be able to provide whatever they need to make sure that it comes out better than what you imagined. All right, so releasing control is hard. It's all about setting that direction and really communicating with others on what exactly it is you're working for. But it's always going to be about a test and tune, right? So you do it once, you tune it, and then you go back with them and you work on it again. All right, and if these people are doing the exact opposite of what you said every single time, you have to ask yourself, am I saying the right things? Am I giving the right information to help them do their job? Or is this person not the right fit? Right? So once you know exactly what it is, then you could break ways, or you could perhaps, you know, improve it. Cool. So somebody from Louisiana, Sky Dreams, man, it's awesome. Thank you guys for thank you for joining me on this live Q&A. So somebody's asking, what day and time is the meetup at Bella Canvas? Those that enter, so if you're just watching this video on the replay, perhaps you're new to this channel and this video popped up on YouTube. You're watching a live Q&A on starting a clothing line. This YouTube channel specializes in helping entrepreneurs and creatives with starting their brand and business, and all the information is linked right down below. We have a clothing line giveaway, and the deadline to enter that is tomorrow at noon. So that means that after tomorrow at noon, it's completely done, guys, because we're going to make the announcement to the winner on Friday at noon in LA. So if you're in the LA area and you're a subscriber to this channel, and if you have a brand and you want to meet up in person, I'd love to meet with you guys and connect with you guys. All right, so in order to do that, just go ahead and expand the little list right down below this video, and it'll actually ask you for a couple of detailed information, like your phone, your name, your email address, as well as your brand's information. Because those that are, because it's actually limited to 15 people, we have to submit those names to Bella Canvas, and then the security and stuff needs to give the green light about whoever enters, since it is a private facility. So yes, we are limited on space, 15 people, and if you live in the LA area and you're available at like around 12 p.m., then definitely hit that expand the list right down below. And I look forward to meeting you in person and actually learning more about what you're doing and what your vision and goals is, and figure out a way that we can help. All right, cool. So let's see. Thank you, Sabina. Damn right, keyboard warriors. You guys are awesome. How do you organize production for clothing lines? All right, let's see. Okay, so Christina asks, should you reflect fashion trends in your brand, or try to be different from what trends are going on? Christina, this is a great question. This is actually a question that is actually a really good question. So essentially, fashion trends, as you guys know, they come and go. Something that actually may be hot will probably be irrelevant in 6 months from now, because social media moves so fast. Should you try to incorporate it in your brand? I would say that if you're just starting out, and if you're trying to capture a market, I would say do your own twist on it, and always try to figure out how it's going to fit with the end goal and the end vision of what your brand represents and stands for. I think the brands that are able to pull that off are able to consistently make sales and consistently grow with time, and then eventually they kind of morph and become their own brand, and they set their own direction. So I think if you're having a hard time with a certain design or a certain product taking off, try to see how you can integrate with people's emotions of what they're into this year, right? Because if you go too far out, then essentially your customer base gets narrow. It gets a lot smaller than it would be if you try to find a good twist to how your designs can kind of merge with the trends in the market. So I think it is the easier way to go, but the brands that follow just that platform are always going to plateau. They're always only going to get so big. So make sure that you guys find your own twist, and then you find your own lane. All right, let's see. Somebody asked, does this apply to people in Africa too? So the clothing line giveaway will be available globally. So that means that that yes, if you're in Africa, as long as you are able to pay your import and your shipping fees, then you guys are open to this contest. All right, so as long as that's okay with you guys, we'll be able to print it and actually ship it out to you. And one of the lights went out, so I'm going to open up one of the windows real quick just to go. So yes, one of the lights went out. I think that's about it, guys. I think this is an amazing. This was an amazing Q&A. We literally did it. So for those of you guys that are probably watching towards the end, we literally had a rig that's a mobile rig, which I never thought was possible. Literally, look, this camera's moving. See? Boom. It's crazy. And my brother's behind the camera right now, so I got to give a huge shout out to C. Santos. He's a man that runs this crazy... he's the guy that runs this crazy, like, multi-cam production, and he's like, literally, it's hilarious how it looks right now, but I couldn't have done this live Q&A without him. On Friday, he's going to be the main guy working a production team to make sure that we get some cool, amazing footage, and then the rest of my team's actually going to come out, and we're just going to have a really good time. So for those of you guys that are in the area, or if you're available for YouTube Live, join us on the live Q&A going live Friday at noon. And more importantly, just go ahead and click on any of one of these cards coming up, which will pop up. We'll link to the information to the giveaway, as well as any of the free PDFs and guides that I have. All right, guys, I really appreciate every single one of you guys tuning into this live Q&A. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you have any questions. And more importantly, we're super excited to announce the winners of the 1500 clothing line giveaway. I know it's going to help a few people really launch and grow their brands. So wherever you're located, just go ahead, enter that giveaway, and we'll talk again real soon on Friday. All right, and I think that is it. And I just end it from right there. All right, cool. All right, so then stop recording.